The Big Dipper, 1930, USA. In July 1930, Krug Park in Omaha, Nebraska, was packed on a hot summer day. Families, children, and teenagers lined up to ride the Big Dipper, the park's most famous wooden roller coaster. For them, it was just a harmless fun ride, a train ride like any other day. 23 passengers boarded 4 train cars. The chains rattled. The iron wheels screeched on the wooden rails. The train slowly climbed the first steep incline, everyone eagerly awaiting the familiar plunge. Suddenly, a bolt in the brake system came loose. The wheels jammed. The train frame shook violently. The metal screeched. The sound lost between the wind and laughter. A few passengers caught a glimpse of the train floor shaking, their hearts pounding, sensing something was wrong. Then, boom! The first car slid off the rails, smashed through the wooden barrier, and plummeted 35 feet to the ground. The 3 cars behind were dragged along, twisted, crushed. Bodies were thrown from their seats, flying into the air. Screams tore through the air, then died in the sound of splintering wood and twisted metal. 4 people died instantly. 19 others lay on the ground, broken bones, covered in blood. But the rescue effort was halted. Thousands of spectators swarmed the scene, curiously looking at the wreckage, making it impossible for ambulances to get in. Finally, the police had to break down the wooden barrier to clear a path for the victims to be taken to the emergency room. The park never recovered from the disaster. One loose screw, and the entire train became a common coffin. In the world of roller coasters, even a small mistake is enough to claim dozens of lives. The Mindbender, 1986, Canada. In 1986, in the heart of Galaxyland in Edmonton, Canada, a new wonder was unveiled. The Mindbender, the world's largest indoor roller coaster at the time. The spiraling tracks, the triple loop, the thumping music, all of it turned it into a huge hit. For visitors, it was just a fun night at the park. That night, dozens of people boarded the Mindbender. The safety locks clicked, and the cars hurtled forward amid laughter and screams of excitement. The ride started off smoothly, as it had so many times before. But in the last car, a screw had long since come loose. The wheels shook violently. Passengers heard an unusual metallic screech. Cold sweat broke out as the train rounded the curve before the first loop. Crack! The last car came off the track, slamming into the steel frame. The force of inertia threw 4 passengers out, sending them flying through the air between the giant steel loops. 3 fell to the concrete floor, dead instantly. The others survived, but suffered multiple broken bones, and blood stained the tracks. Witnesses fled in panic, some screaming as they saw their friends thrown from the car. Police and paramedics quickly cordoned off the ride, but the truth was clear. A minor maintenance error had turned the ride into a killing machine. Mindbender was immediately shut down for investigation, and the park's reputation never fully recovered. A seemingly insignificant screw had claimed 3 lives. The thrill ride had no tolerance for mistakes. Tina's Burritos Meat Grinder, California, 2019. A normal night in Vernon, California. The lights are still on at Tina's Burritos factory. The assembly line is running continuously to produce millions of burritos every day. In the large factory, young workers are tired from the night shift. Among them is a 9-year-old boy, a sanitation worker, silently doing a job that few people notice. Like many other times, he climbed into the giant meat grinder to scrape off the remaining meat. A familiar action, seemingly harmless, just part of the daily work. Suddenly, the metal vibrates slightly. The indicator light flashes. The familiar mechanical sound, but this time with a strange nuance. His heart pounded. Cold sweat broke out as he heard the engine rumble to start. Then, roar! The whole machine locked up. The steel wheels started to spin. He screamed, begging for the machine to stop, but it was too late. The sound of flesh and bones being crushed was terrible. Screams were muffled. Only the steady roar of the machine remained. Workers ran in panic, pulling the switch, but in vain. When the machine stopped, the scene before their eyes was too horrifying to describe. It took firefighters and medics nearly an hour to collect the remaining body parts. The factory was forced to shut down immediately. A small mistake in safety procedures can cost a life. In a factory, just 1 second of carelessness can stop a lifetime forever. McDonald's electrocution, Peru, 2019. A quiet Sunday night in the Pueblo Libre district of Lima. Inside a McDonald's store, young workers, a 9-year-old girl, were trying to finish a long night shift. The girl was assigned to clean the soda machine, a seemingly familiar job repeated every day, requiring only a rag and a few minutes of concentration. When her hand touched the machine, a strong electric current suddenly shot out. Her whole body convulsed violently, her eyes widened in panic. A deafening electric screech echoed throughout the room. Her boyfriend rushed to hug her tightly, trying to pull her away. But as soon as he touched her, the current ran through both of them. They screamed together. Then it stopped. Only the burning smell and the motionless body on the cold floor remained. Both died on the spot. News spread, exposing the truth. Young workers were forced to work 12-hour shifts, without gloves or insulated shoes. Their families were in grief. Public opinion was outraged, forcing authorities to investigate this chain of stores. When safety is forgotten, it is young people with bright dreams who pay the price with their lives. Arby's freezer, Death, Louisiana, 2023. A typical morning at an Arby's restaurant in New Iberia, Louisiana. The night shift manager, Nagiat Lile, 63, a hard-working, dedicated woman, started her workday as usual. She walked into the industrial freezer to check the inventory. This was a familiar routine, repeated every day. For her, it was just a small, quick task, and then she returned to her desk. When the door closed, the long-broken lock clicked. She tried to turn the handle, but to no avail. There was no way out. The temperature inside was dropping rapidly. Her skin began to numb, and her breathing became difficult. Hours passed. The cold air cut into every fiber of her flesh. She pounded on the door, her voice hoarse as she called out, but no one heard. Her body trembled, then she fainted. Finally, she collapsed on the cold steel floor. Her breath stopped. Hours later, her son discovered the horrific scene. The family was heartbroken and angry. They sued Arby's for leaving a broken lock unattended for months, with disregard for the lives of employees. A forgotten door turned the workplace into a frozen prison.